Hey, I'm Erin Melton. Welcome back to Living in Richmond, Virginia. And today we're going to be talking about the 7 top reasons that you don't want to move to Richmond, Virginia. Make sure you stick around to the #1 reason because it's a doozy. We'll be talking about that coming up next. So I've lived in the Richmond, Virginia area for several years, and I've sold real estate for 21 years. So I feel like I can give you a really good perspective. Plus, I'm a Virginia girl by birth. So let's talk a little bit more about, the 7 reasons why moving to Richmond, Virginia may not be for you. So number 7, I think this is going to be a big thing for people that are coming from large cities that have like an amazing transit system. Like you can get on the metro, you can catch an Uber wherever you want, you can like walk everywhere. Richmond just isn't like that. We're much too spread out, and really, frankly, even if you're in the city areas and all the stuff you're going to need is kind of spread out as well. So you're going to need a car if you live in Richmond. So if you're coming from a big city and you're not used to having a car and you feel like you have not even really needed one, it's going to be an investment you're going to need to make. So make sure you're figuring that into your budget as you're talking about what kind of house you're going to get. Number 6, there are a lot of trees here, and if you've never been to the East Coast, you're going to be in for a shocker. Now, when I talk about a lot of trees, I'm not talking about big giant sequoias, big giant pine trees everywhere, particularly not in the Richmond area. But if you are coming from an area where you love that wide open horizon, like if you're a Texan, or if you are from Montana, and you like to just see as far as the eye can see, all the way across Virginia, even if we're in the dead of winter, is not going to be the spot for you, particularly not Richmond, because we're not real flat. We've got some hills and all, which is going to add to what everybody that's not from the East Coast calls, I feel like I'm in a tunnel. Me, as an East Coast girl, particularly as a Virginia girl, I love my trees. I absolutely love it. Even when I travel places and I'm like, oh, this is really cool, this is neat, but I'm like, where are all the trees? I just don't feel the same. And when I get all those green trees around me, I feel properly hugged. Yeah, so if you like that wide open expanse, you can just see for miles and miles and miles, Richmond, Virginia is definitely not going to be the place for you. And number 5 reason, and I can speak from experience because I have lived in other places as well, even though I'm a Virginia girl, and most of my life has been spent in Virginia. And actually, now that I think about it, that's the weirdest thing. I don't think I'd ever thought about it. I have lived in Richmond, Virginia. The longest time ever in my entire life has been Richmond, Virginia. I just knew this was home, always, always. So anyways, that's a big thing is if you are used to living out west, and when you go skiing in the winter, you're going to the Rocky Mountains. Even if you're going to like the baby hills out west. Take it from me. Yes, we do have mountains about an hour and a half, 2 hours from Richmond, Virginia, but they're gonna feel like foothills. And when it says Black Diamond, I know this because I lived in Montana for a year and a half or so, and went to not even like this gigantic ski resort in Montana. And when it says Black Diamond for a ski hill in Montana, it is terrifying. It's like you are going to die. You literally are like looking down and you're gonna go like down a cliff. I mean, it's like scary. By comparison, Black Diamond at one of the ski resorts in Virginia, not so scary. Particularly if you are used to that out there, you're going to be like, this sucks. Where are the real mountains? I'm like skiing in little baby hills. And also our snow is probably going to all be like man-made. We get snow, but just not the way you do out there. Same difference if you're from California, and that is like what you expect when you see beaches is like Big Sur or Santa Monica Pier or Malibu. That's what you're expecting. Or even like, you're from somewhere that just, even if you're from Florida, and you're used to the different beaches that you have there, our beach, our Virginia beach, though fun, lots of fun, it's not the same. Like you'll be taking pictures of the mountains here that are pretty particularly during the fall, or you might be taking pictures when you go down Virginia Beach, it's great. Are you gonna have blue water? You're not gonna have blue water for one. You'll have waves, but they're gonna be like weenie waves for sure. And it's just the bottom of the ocean is very sandy here. It's not rocks. If you're like used to like the Great Lakes and these beautiful, beautiful blue, huge like ocean-like lakes, or even out on the Pacific Coast where it's nice and blue, or places in Florida where the water is real blue. This is East Coast beach. It's gonna be like muddy brown. Same with like our rivers. They're pretty. It's just not put it on a postcard or make it your screenshot. that sort of thing. So we have people all the time that are contacting us about moving to the Richmond, Virginia area. And they're like, you know, where should we be living? How much house can I get? What's the cost of living? You know, what sort of things can I do for my kids? Are there activities? All those different things. Well, because we have people contacting, we're always posting new videos because we want to make sure that we're answering all your questions. So make sure that you like and subscribe below, and make sure you ring the little bell too. That way, as soon as we post our new videos each week, you'll be updated and can learn more about moving to Richmond, Virginia and living in our area. All right, number 4. So we kind of touched about this a little bit ago, but that it was like, hey, yeah, we are the center of the universe for sure, and we're the center of everything. You can get to big cities, and you can get to the ocean, and you can get to the mountains for sure to do things. It's just in general, it's a nice little city, but is it necessarily something that everybody goes like, oh, you have to go to Richmond, Virginia because of this? Not so much. Nice city, clean, friendly people. Number 3, in my family, there are, you know, my kids and also my husband, they have seasonal allergies, right? And I know a lot of my friends have them as well, and I always feel bad for them when we're getting together in the spring because they're just miserable. And particularly right now with, you know, a pandemic, that always makes it tough that you're like, no, this is a normal cough, this is allergies, you know, or my eyes are runny and red because of allergies. This isn't because I have COVID. But you're going to have some definite issues in Virginia. For instance, if there has ever been someone, a doctor's ever said, hey, you need to move to Arizona because you need to have things as dry as possible. We are not a dry client for sure. And probably, you know, come April, probably the entire month of April, though it's pretty outside, it is going to be just covered and just everything is yellow, like everything is yellow. And on the same thing in the fall, the ragweed is pretty rotten around here. And I know because, like I said, my kids and my husband have really bad fall seasonal allergies, so I always know they all start sniffling and looking really germy right about August, and it doesn't end until like October. The number 1 reason why you should not move to Richmond, Virginia, yes, you might think because we're in the middle part of the East Coast that we don't have extreme temperatures. Well, let me let you know on something. The humidity in Virginia is generally in like the 70 to 80 percentile. So it's really wet, it's really muggy. So in the wintertime, if you've lived in places that are really dry, you know, you're like, oh, you know, when we lived in Montana, like I said, we were out there and it was like, oh, you know, it's cold. But even if it was like 0, it was like, it's cold, but it wasn't unbearable. Like you bundled up and it was cool. You know, you were great. By comparison, even if it's like 32 here and it's just started snowing or just a little bit under there, it is like you see in movies where someone's like out in Cape Cod, like, or they're out in the ocean, the middle of the ocean, in the middle of the winter, and the waves are horrible, and it's like the wind chill is -50. It just bites through you. By comparison too, in the summer, it is really muggy and hot. And even if we don't get as hot as, say, like, example, I went and visited my husband in Texas when he was in basic training years back, and we were there in the dead of summer. We went to SeaWorld. We'd been there for a couple hours, and the rental car was like parked in that like big giant, you know, the black asphalt. So it's like baking for hours. I remember getting there, and I was shocked when we got to the car and we opened it up that we literally just got in the car, put on the air conditioning. It was hot, but we just drove off. That's it. You know, you live in Richmond, Virginia, and you've parked your car on that hot bacon asphalt, and heaven forbid if your car is black, watch out. It's going to be even worse. You know not to get in that car right away as soon as you walk up. Like literally, if your legs touch the leather seats or get anywhere near your like firecracker seatbelt metal, you're going to burn the living crap out of your thigh, for sure. That's like something you just don't do. You know that when you live in Richmond and it's the dead of summer, you're not going to be doing that. In fact, you're going to walk up to your car, you're going to like turn on your car, open up all the doors, and you are going to let it like air out for like, you know, and turn on the AC really high for like 5 to 10 minutes and sit there and play on your phone or talk and call someone on the phone, because you need that like that thick, sticky to get out there. Also, in the summertime, if you have gone and done your hair right before a, you know, a special event, You are going to want to be prepared that you are nowhere outside for any amount of time, because literally your beautiful hair that's all been styled is going to be a giant frizz ball in a matter of 2 minutes. Particularly if it already is a little frizzy towards the frizzy side, it's going to be like this, you know. It's a really beautiful look, you know. If you like the like mermaid hair, don't care look, definitely move to Richmond, Virginia. If you love it to be pin straight in the summer, not the place for you. So there you have it, the 7 reasons not to move to Richmond, Virginia. Again, remember, we're going to be posting all sorts of different things. If you've got questions, specific questions, please comment below and we'll make sure to make a full episode about it, because the more questions we get from you, the more we need to know what people want to know about moving to Richmond, Virginia. So remember, like, subscribe, and ring that bell, so as soon as we put our new posts out each week, you'll be able to be notified. Thanks again for tuning in, and can't wait to be your neighbor and see you move into Richmond, Virginia.